to your metal goddess. Get ready for Trixie's Metal Madness Mayhem. And now, here is your host, the goddess of metal herself, Trixie.
Okay, we live on air with Bruce Corbit on Metal Mash Mayhem Radio. Now, say hello, Bruce, and introduce yourself and tell us about your bands.
Well, like you said, I'm Bruce Corbit, and I'm in the band WARBEAST. Used to be in the band Rigormortis, as some of you might already know.
Tell them more about your bands. Some people don't even know.
Well, let's see, which band? I guess we'll start with Rigormortis, since that was first. I was in a band called Rigormortis back in the 80s, and we luckily got signed to Capitol Records, which was a big shock at the time. Put out an album, went on tour with Death Angel, and then I left the band, and then in about 2006, me and some guys from Gamma Side formed a band called Texas Metal Alliance, and that's turned into the band WARBEAST. And we got signed to Philip Anselmo's label, Housecore Records. And we've had 3 releases so far, and we're writing some material for our next album.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, back to WARBEAST. Now let's rewind back to last year. You remember your first tour with Phil Anselmo down?
Yeah, the first time we went out with Down, yes.
What cities did you travel to?
Well, let's see, that first one, I do believe that was, was that the West Coast? I have to remember, because we did 3 back-to-back with them, actually. We did one, and then we went to Europe, and then we came back and did another. But let's see, that first one, I'm thinking we did Oklahoma and Arizona. Kind of did a West Coast swing on that first one.
And then we saw you in Ohio.
Yeah. Oh, is that where y'all saw us?
Yeah, don't you remember?
I remember seeing y'all, but I can't remember, when you do 3 tours with Down and it's a total of 50 shows.
Oh,
I can't remember the exact route we took, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Do you remember the tour, the Fate of Chaos tour with Guar?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, I remember all the tours, but sometimes after doing like 8 or 10 tours in a few years, you have to go back and look at the itinerary just to kind of refresh your memory on the route you took and which direction and all the cities. Of course, I'll remember the shows as soon as I see where we played and everything, but it's just something that happens to us bands, man. You're out there so much, you can't, remember,
everything.
The order that, you can't remember everything yet.
Yeah. So, I have a couple questions to ask you.
All right.
So, with you being the vocalist for Rigormortis, what year did Rigormortis start?
Well, they kind of met around 83 and 84. They came up with the name at Rigormortis and started working on some originals. But then I didn't really come in until about July of 86. By then they, kind of found out what style they wanted to be, and Casey decided he didn't want to sing and he just wanted to play his bass. So I joined in 1986, and a lot of stuff took off pretty quick right after that. We made a demo tape, and we got to open up for Megadeth at this really big show, and then
that was nice.
It just led to a lot of stuff. As soon as we did the Megadeth show, a lot of people, found out about us and just kind of launched us in the upward motion. And then, within a year, we had labels coming to see us, and we finally decided to sign with Capitol Records, which was the only label that was really serious enough about letting Rigormortis just put out the music we wanted to without any kind of guidance or direction, you know. So.
Yeah. So, let me ask you this. How many CDs and vinyls or EPs or cassettes or anything Rigormortis has released? Would you know that?
What? How many we released or
yeah,
unreleased?
How many?
First thing we came out with is a thing called The Decline of the Western Civilization Part 2, The Metal Years, which was a soundtrack to a movie that came out in 1988, and Rigormortis was on the soundtrack, and Foaming at the Mouth was on there, and that was a good start before our album came out on Capitol. And then after, like I said, I mentioned I left after the first album. They kind of fired me, and that's a long story in itself. But anyway, you know, they got Doyle Bright on vocals, and they put out Freaks, which was an EP.
Yeah.
And then Rigormortis versus the Earth, which was a full length. But those came out on different labels than Capitol. And then now we're proudly about to put our fourth and final release out here coming up in October, which will be called Slaves to the Grave, and it's the original members that were on the first album.
That's nice. I can't wait till you release it so I can get my hands on it.
I can't wait for that day to come myself. We've waited a long time to get this album out, and it's a lot of hard work and labor of love. A lot of love went into this album, and we recorded it like about 2.5 years ago, actually. But we've had a few hurdles and roadblocks.
Yeah, with Mike Scasha recorded on it before he died.
Yes. We did record this album with Mike, and that's what I was kind of talking about with the roadblocks. Unfortunately, Mike, passed away that same year we recorded this new album, and then we didn't really feel like we should, like within 6 months or a year after Mike died, say, hey, everybody buy this new Rigormortis or something, you know what I mean? So we kind of gave it a lot of time in between, and then we started looking for labels that would hopefully want to sign us and put this album out. But, the thing was, the way the music business is right now, they don't make that much money like they used to because of illegal downloads, and they need bands that are going to be active bands and be out on tour and support the album. And Rigormortis made the decision after Mike passed away that we were no longer going to carry on the band Rigormortis or put out new albums or play under that name again. So all that ended up resulting in us deciding to release this album ourselves and start our own record label and ask the fans to help us with the expenses for making this album. And it's looking like it's going really well so far. So yeah, it's a great album. We're excited. It's going to be like I said, 2.5 years since we recorded it, but I think the time is right and everybody's ready to hear it.
How can the fans donate to the funds for the album?
How come what?
How can the fans donate to you? Donate towards the album.
How come it took so long to get it out?
No. I said, it's okay. I said, how can the fans donate towards Rigormortis?
I got you. Everyone out there just understand we're having trouble hearing each other, but we started a fundraiser site on Indiegogo, and so you can go there. If you can find us on our Facebook, official Rigormortis Facebook, or just if you go out and do a Google search for Rigormortis, there's all kinds of stuff out there in the last few weeks about it. We'll have an official website coming soon, but look us up, man, and you'll be able to find this fundraiser page we got. I guess the most easiest way right now is just to find the Rigormortis official Facebook, and then you'll see the links for it there.
Okay, I have a question for you. So
Alright.
since you're the lead vocalist for Rigormortis and WARBEAST, how do you make time for both bands?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's never been that big a problem. I like to stay busy in between both bands. It keeps me busy a lot of times, so that's exactly the way I want to be. And I've never failed to give, enough attention to both bands, so it's never been a problem. Unfortunately, with Rigormortis now, we're not going to continue as a band, like I mentioned, but we still are working together on this new album.
That's good.
And, we're still working together, so I'm still, every day, spending half my time doing WARBEAST, half my time doing Rigormortis. Sometimes a week requires me to focus more on WARBEAST or sometimes more on Rigormortis, but I just managed to make sure to pull my weight for both bands,
Yeah, that's a lot of weight you pull. You put a lot of work into both bands.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm very lucky to be in.
Yeah, you are lucky.
Bands for one. You know what I mean? I'm lucky to be in such good bands, and I'm enjoying it. Hopefully it'll last forever, but if not, I'm making sure I enjoy it just in case.
And me and Dave are lucky to be your friends. We enjoy being your friends. We enjoy the times we spent with you guys.
Yeah, I know we've had some good times, and y'all have been very good to us, loyal and great friends of ours on these tours, and it's always...
We followed you last year.
Cool. It's cool for us to know when y'all are coming to a show.
Yeah. We came last year to both of your tours.
I know it. I mean, we notice these things, and like I said, we're always grateful, and we're glad to be you guys' friends.
Yes, thank you. Rock on. So anyways, what year did you start in WARBEAST?
Well, in 2006, we did a benefit show with like all the old bands around here, kind of combined forces and called it the Texas Metal Alliance. And that's kind of what led to it. After that show, guitarists Rick Perry and Scott Shelby from Gamma Side called and said, "Hey, Rigormortis and Gamma Side, they're not really busy bands. We would like to see if you'd want to maybe keep this thing going and give us something to work on, since those bands are just part time." And of course, obviously, I said, "Hell yes!" And now here we are. It evolved into turning the band into WARBEAST, and so it was really 2006 when the first show happened, but it was like 2007 by the time we completed the lineup and found Joey Gonzalez.
Do you still have Joey Gonzalez?
Sorry?
Do you still have Joey Gonzalez?
Yeah, Joey's still in the band. We just actually practiced last night for the first time in about 6 weeks, because he's been out on the road with Phil at Anselmo's and the Illegals doing the Phil solo band. But yeah, he's still with us and back to jam with us for the time being.
Well, that's good. Tell Joey I said hi.
Of course I will.
Okay. Anyways, so WARBEAST has only created 2 CDs, right?
Oh, we got 2 full-length albums, and we were on that split thing. Remember the War of the Gargantuans?
Yeah, I have all 3.
Yeah, so three releases, 2 full-length albums.
Yeah, we have the WARBEAST and the WARBEAST Destroys and the Gargantuan CD.
Yeah, WARBEAST Crush the Enemy was the first one, and then
yes,
War of the Gargantuans was the split with 2 WARBEAST and 2 Philip Anselmo songs. And then, of course, Destroy came out last year, and now we are working on the new stuff in the early writing stages. I got to hear a couple of new songs last night for the first time, and I was very impressed with the new songs Scott and Joey played for us. Scott had been writing them, and he showed them to Joey, and they were getting it down. So I'm sure it'll be soon when I get to start writing some new lyrics for WARBEAST song.
That's very cool.
Yeah, that's always a fun thing to do.
And what direction are you looking for with the new album? Heavier, lighter?
Yeah, that's me. I mean, I'm always going to say heavier. You know what I mean? that's what I want to do. That's what I'm all about. And I think I'm, having some influence on that decision.
That's
because,
good.
Scott brought it up last night after he played this super heavy thrash song that I loved. He was like, I figured you'd like that one, So they know what I like, and of course, I'm open-minded to having a variety of styles mixed in with that too. But I hope it's just heavier and faster, and
Yes.
just get the mosh pit going, whatever it takes.
Okay, I have a little personal question. Now, between both of these bands, nothing back. Between Rigormortis and WARBEAST, since WARBEAST started and since you joined Rigormortis, what is the most funniest times you've had in both bands?
Well, I mean, did you say the funniest or the funnest?
The funniest.
Either one.
The funniest.
Yeah, well, I think that, there's always so much funny shit that happens when we go out on these tours. Just always crazy, unexpected stuff, I usually got to try to maintain myself because I've just got to, I can't drink as much as get all, and I can't talk as much because of my voice, and I sometimes got to be the one to go in and talk to the people at the hotel, But I sit back and sure enjoy it, because there's some crazy characters involved with WARBEAST and with Rigormortis. So the tours are a lot of fun, but they are so sometimes hard too. So, but I think I enjoy the recording process when we go in to make the album. It's bringing our ideas to life. And that's what's going to last forever. Our songs are going to last forever on CD. So a lot of times when I hear these songs, I'm just thinking it was something that happened during the recording of the album or when we were recording that song. So, it has to be, obviously tours are fun, but I guess the times I'm going to remember the most and laugh the hardest is when crazy stuff that happened, but somehow we managed to get an album out, so lots of good times with both of these bands.
That's really nice. So now, question. Sorry, I'm just like so hyped up. Anyways, what is your favorite cities that you tour in?
Favorite city? That's always a good question, but there's several, and to be honest, every city we played in, we've never left, and we've been like, we don't like that city. So, it's like we love the tour, we love everywhere we go, but sometimes we just start getting to know people in certain areas, of course, Chicago, New York is always fun. I love, playing in Vegas mainly just because I like to party in Vegas all night, but but then I just love there's just so many, but Philadelphia's been good to us, and Tulsa, Atlanta, Los Angeles. Oh, I could just go on and on. So it's impossible to pick a favorite, but we do love coming to everybody's town because we're getting to know everybody. We're getting to make some friends in each city we play. So when we come back, it's cool to see them again.
Okay, so will you go? Hold on one second. Hey, you ask him.
Hey Bruce, it's Dave. Do you guys ever plan to do any tours overseas?
Sure, we want to. That's what we always planned on from the beginning, and so far we've only got to do that one time, as you know, when Down took us over there a couple years back. And we've been trying to get back, and we get asked all the time, so, if it was up to us, we'd be back, but unfortunately that's not up to us. Costs a lot of money to get over there. Somebody's going to have to want to bring us over there and book the tour and set it up, because that's something we can't afford to do ourselves, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just hoping that, you know, we get some more offers and tours and we get to go back over there. I mean, unfortunately, everything we minute show, you know. It's a lot of money to fly to Germany to play 30 minutes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we would if we had the money, dude. So anybody, Europe, anywhere, just if you want us, we're willing to come that way. Just book us and let's set it up.
I know there's a lot of multimillionaires in Europe, so hit up Bruce Corbett on Facebook or Twitter or something, and book him up with a show out in Europe so you guys can see WARBEAST live.
Yeah, book them on a big metal festival out there.
Yeah, that'd be great, man. We'd love that. Well, we're still working towards that happening one day, you know?
Yeah.
Now, Bruce, going back to Rigormortis now, tell everyone about the big CD release party coming up with the Wizards of Gore.
Oh, yeah, man. That's finally tonight we get to celebrate this great album that we've been, you know, anxious to release for so long. But yeah, September 27th in Dallas, Texas, at the Curtain Club. We've got our buddies, Old School Texas Legends, Dead Horse to headline. And, you know, so that's always cool. And then, you know, like I mentioned earlier, we're not going to be Rigormortis anymore, but we decided we still wanted to celebrate like a band would. Even as it's going to be bittersweet without Mike Scott, obviously. I mean, but we're doing it for him. He would want us to, you know, do what we were supposed to do. And if we're able to pull off doing these Rigormortis songs justice, we're going to do just that. And like you said, we're going to be called the Wizards of Gore and play a set of classic Rigormortis and maybe a new song or two mixed in. And so that's really cool. I mean, I you know, not all bands end when someone dies, but some bands do, because that's the way it should be, because, you know, it's just like the thing with, there's certain bands, they just say, man, we can't go on without this guy, and that's how we felt about Mike Scotcher, you know. But I think it's okay for us to play Rigormortis songs and get up and do a set of Rigormortis songs, you know, under a different name, because it's more like, we're not trying to continue Rigormortis, we're just doing this tribute to this era that we came from, and to Mike himself, and because we are releasing a new album, you know, we want to get up and enjoy these songs, you know, it meant so much to our lives.
Yes, we can
relate. It's
relate.
Really cool, man, and I want to mention Mike Taylor, the guy that's going to play guitar for us. He's, you know, one of my
Mike Taylor?
Yeah,
Mike Taylor.
he's cool. He's in a band called Rabbit Flesh Eaters around here, and they're
Rabbit Flesh Eaters?
Rabbit, yeah.
Rabbit Flesh Eaters, really?
Rabbit.
Flesh Eaters?
Yeah, that's the.
It sounds.
The funny thing.
It's
People sometimes think I'm saying rabbit, but it's rabid with a D.
I know. It made me think of my bunny that just passed away, Kitty. May 16th, the day of Slayer. It's so odd. The day we went to see Slayer, my bunny sacrificed himself at 5 o'clock in the morning.
I'm sorry, that cut out on me, the last part.
I said, the day of Slayer, May 16th, when we went to see Slayer, live at the rave, my bunny, Kitty, 5 o'clock in the morning, passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's
That's
okay.
sad.
It's okay, he's gone. He's a better place. But now, moving on. Now, I'm gonna ask you off the hand question. What is your ultimate favorite food?
Ultimate favorite food?
Yes.
I mean, I'm just. It sounds so simple, but I guess if I had to choose what I'd have to eat every day, I would go with the steak. You know.
Steak and applesauce, steak and taters, steak and what?
Oh, just whatever, man. It can be steak and anything as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. You know what I mean? Just the usual stuff.
Okay.
The kind of baked potato, macaroni and cheese, and some whatever. Anything, man. Just give it to me.
So what is your favorite drink?
Well, my favorite is actually Long Island iced teas, but I found out they're kind of dangerous, so I try to limit myself from drinking them too often. Lately, me and my wife, we always drink Jim Beam and Coke. That's kind of the drink for the last 4 or 5 years for us.
But I wasn't talking about liquor.
Oh, you wasn't just a drink in general?
Yeah, just a drink in general, like pop, coffee, tea, water. I don't know. I don't drink.
Well, you know what kind of liquor I like too, but
For the future.
God, I mean, this is like, I like so much. I mean, I guess I'll drink like Pepsi. I mean, but I don't drink it like constantly because, it's not good for you.
Pepsi's not good for you, but Mountain Dew is. There's difference. 'Cause I'm a loyal Mountain Dew drinker. I should advertise. I should advertise for Mountain Dew and Monster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, now let's go into the liquor drink. So if you were given a choice between 3 hard liquors, I'm gonna give you 3 hard liquors to choose from. Whiskey, rum, or scotch. Which one would you pick?
Whiskey.
Whiskey. Now, why whiskey?
Well, it goes back to the Jim Beam thing. That's what we're drinking a lot these days, just to stay with what I'm used to right now. I don't think I've ever really liked scotch too much either, so.
Nah, scotch, yeah. It was too, what do they call it? Too solid. Too plain, too blah.
I agree. It's not for me anyway.
You can choke on that shit.
Yeah.
Now rum, I could do rum with Mountain Dew, with ice cream, with vodka, with pineapples. I like rum. If I was to drink, but I don't drink.
Sounds good to me.
Yes. So I'm gonna ask you another question: French fries or mashed potatoes?
I would have to go with French fries.
Why French fries?
Oh, it's more, like it's just depending if you're driving down the road, they're more convenient to eat on it any time,
But the salt on the French fries can cause high blood pressure and can cause heart attacks. And French fries fried in grease is very dangerous to your heart and health.
Yeah, absolutely. I do know all of that.
And you're getting older in age. You need to watch your health.
Well, I try to, but I still, luckily, I've been,
You've been
I've
kicking.
avoided having really anything like, diabetes or any kind of high blood pressure or any kind of, I've had my, I've been going to get, after what happened to Mike, I went and got myself checked out. And,
That's good.
I mean, they say, anybody could die at any second, but they say that, they didn't find anything wrong with me, so I'll still eat some French fries when I can, but, I don't eat them with every meal, don't worry.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what advice would you give to someone who's trying to start off in their own band?
It ain't the same advice I used to give bands because it's changed so much, and I mean, I've been laughing and joking with this with Casey the last year that, when we get asked this question, the best thing to tell them is to not be in the band. I mean, because you're not going to make a penny for it unless it's 10 billion to 1 odds, and that's not good odds. So unless you just really love it to be able to, you know, whatever. But if you really are serious about making any money at it, then be somebody else around the band. Like, I mean, everybody else makes money but the band members. So, you know, learn how to mix and record and do stuff, or be a tour manager or a manager. I mean, everybody makes more money than the band. I mean, we'll, you know, I've been in this band 7, 8 years, work my ass every day on it. And then when we got to go on tour, next thing you know, we're hiring a driver. Well, guess what? This driver is making more money on this tour than I am. And how's that possible, you know?
Yeah.
I'm getting 20 a day, and he's getting 50.
Damn.
No, I mean, I don't mean to discourage anyone, but that's the truth. Looking back on it now, I'm going, wow, if I was smart, I would have learned how to, you know, be an engineer or something, you know? It's just the truth, though. I mean, everybody around the band makes money, but...
You seem like a consultant type of person. Consultant. Where people can console to you for financial problems.
I guess I feel honored if anybody thinks that, you know, I'm worthy of, you know, them asking me some advice or questions about, and I do get a lot of bands, you know, even if it's just someone on Facebook and wants my advice or opinion or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, I'm there for them. I'll give them, you know, the thing about me, I made more mistakes than anyone, so.
Everybody makes mistakes.
I know, so all I'm doing is, like, I'll be like the guy who's like, well, I made all these mistakes, but maybe, you know, if you listen to me, you won't make the same ones, you know?
Yeah.
But it's
So,
hard to tell someone stuff when you've done so many, messed up so much yourself, you know?
yes. So,
I'm just a survivor, like Phil calls it. We're lifers. I'm sitting here. In the end, you know what matters to me is that people, like, know of my songs from some of the, you know, some of the albums, and that's cool, you know?
yes.
That's what matters. Is like, wow, that's hard to think that guy in Germany might be listening to WARBEAST right now, and then, you know, like, when I die, 10 years from now, the people still might be listening to it, you know?
Yes.
So that's what it means, and that's what a band, if I was being serious now, is just to, I mean, don't worry about, you know, the shows as much as just writing and recording as much as you can, because if it ever ends, you can have little memories of the shows in your mind, but what you really have is recordings and memories of this band, you know? And the more memories you have comes from listening to that album, you know? So, write and record, that's my advice.
So, question. What's the story behind the song Egotistical Bastard?
Well...
I know there's a story.
Well, it's not like it... I mean, there is kind of a story, but it's not about anyone in particular. That's what you know, I think everybody knows people like that. I've got some friends like that, of course.
Bastard.
So, I just kind of summed it all up in a song, not think of any one person in particular, just people that are like that. But yeah, I know that when I sent the lyrics to Philip, and then to Scott Shelby, and then I think even to Joey, that all three of them ended up asking me if I wrote it about them, so I just thought that was... I just thought that was funny, so I started dedicating the song to all musicians after that, because I figured that if they thought it might be about them, then there's a lot of musicians. And what I found out is people that know musicians love it because they'll know someone like that, you know what I mean?
Yes, exactly, I know what you mean. So, Bruce, now, when Bruce Corbit is at home, what does Bruce Corbit do with his life?
Well, like right now, my wife is probably up there, and she's probably getting my dinner ready, so that's what I'm just probably going to go eat dinner. And
Do you work?
I was probably going to, while I got a chance to hang with her, I'm going to spend some time with her tonight just watching some of our favorite shows or movies or something. Because I do have a lot of, shows coming up and stuff and practice nights. So, I mean, as lame as it sounds, I like to just kind of sometimes chill and hang out with my wife and spend time with her.
Same thing here. But Dave's not my wife.
Nothing wrong with that, so.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Now, something else. Do you have a job? I mean, like, a job to, like, keep you busy besides being in a band? Do you have a normal work? Do you have a normal paying job?
Nah, I mean, I really don't. I've never really had like that since, like my early 20s or something. I figured, I'm not going to get into it, but I've always been an entrepreneur kind of guy.
Yeah.
And make monies on side jobs and...
You have side jobs?
I'm selling T-shirts online, there was a period there from like 92 through 2009, like 17 years. Most of my money I made came from hustling.
Hustling?
That was awesome, man. It was like,
you hustled?
I was just a professional gambler, I guess. But
you were a hustler.
That was, but I was mainly betting on, like, sports, basketball, football stuff. So
yeah.
That is a stressful thing, but I got to tell you, there's never been a better rush feeling I've ever experienced in my life than hitting, like, this one big bet or something happens right at the end where team scores a miracle touchdown and causes you to win a whole lot of money. I'm just telling you, that is an incredible addiction right there. But luckily, I was proving that I was a winner, too. I mean, no one wins all the time, but
yes.
I wasn't one of those gamblers that you see. People knew I like to gamble and still to this day, but I wasn't one of those gamblers where you see the story where, well, he lost everything and went and sold his car, and you know what I mean? I never got beat that bad. I never lost that bad.
Interruption.
I was able to do it for 17 years.
I gotta interrupt you. Sorry. So when you went to Las Vegas, did you play gamble? Did you play the games?
Yeah, of course. I love it. That's part of the reason I love going there.
You played those slots? The 5-cent slots? 10-cent slots? You played the tables with the cards?
If it's, football or basketball season, I'd bet on that and then go play video poker.
Yes, video poker.
If you know you're gambling, you know what the best odds are besides, like, sports, which are like 50-50 propositions. Then I know that blackjack gives you the best odds. And then video poker is probably the next in line if you know how to play it.
I could share a secret with you. But it's going to be live on air. Okay, So the poker machines, there's a couple casinos here in Illinois that me and Dave, we go to, and some in Wisconsin. I play those penny slot machines. So I go play them for like 5 minutes, put like $2 in it, play it, and then I leave that machine for half an hour. Someone else comes, plays it, and then they leave it, and someone else comes, plays it. Then they leave it, then I go back, I put another $5, boom, I hit it, $500 right there out the door.
I see what you're doing. I understand that reasoning too. It's just you're like figuring that after they played it that it's due hitting right by then.
But you got to put a certain amount of money so you can hit it right.
Yeah.
And you got to watch what they put in.
Cool. I love to do that. I just went a while back, and luckily hit like a royal flush just like about 2 months ago.
That's nice. Must be nice money.
Yeah, it was a nice little bonus for me there.
We had nice money last year, but it's all gone. But yeah, so Bruce, any last words? Because I want to end the show with Egotistical Bastard. Any last words for the audience that's listening worldwide?
Absolutely, of course. The big thing obviously is the Rigormortis new album, Fourth and Final, will come out October 7th. That's when it's the street date for the entire, U.S.
Yes.
We're probably going to be releasing a song before that for everyone to hear, but just everybody, please check out the new Rigormortis. Thanks for all the support with Rigor and WARBEAST over the years. And, of course, the new WARBEAST is in the writing stages, so probably by this time next year we'll be talking about the new WARBEAST, hopefully.
Do you want us to acknowledge anybody? You want to send shout-outs to anybody?
They know who they are. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I mean, just everybody. I mean, I gotta go too because I see that flag down over here. But just everybody, thank you too for tonight and for your support and every fan we've ever had out there. Y'all all are the best.
Thank you. You're very welcome. And thank you for letting us have you on air.
Oh, no problem. My pleasure. I enjoyed it.
Yes. It was awesome talking to you. Now time to end the show with the song Egotistical Bastard.
Excellent.
So I'm ending the show right now because I gotta start my second show with Rick Bauman.
Alright.
This Metal Mash Mayhem Radio. Hold on a second, Rick Bauman.
Yeah, alright. I will.